Do you still remember the initial appearance of the Samoyed that was rescued from a well more than 10 meters deep? At that time, it just missed the mark with God, but now it has been reborn and started a happy life. We rushed here as soon as we received the news. So deep. What we didn't expect was that the well was so deep. We stood on top and looked down, and we couldn't help but feel scared. The furry child in the deep well lay there motionless. Why was such a lively and cute Samoyed abandoned in a deep well? Let's call that lady and ask her what's going on. Hey, big sister. Hello, I'm at your posting location. I got here. What's up with this dog? How come you're a woman? I stayed at home one morning to help water the fields. I saw that dog still looked alive. I don't have time to wait for you. Look for it there quickly. In a well. Oh, I watched it. The county well is strangely deep. I told you to take the rope and get something. Did you get 7? Band 7, band 7. Oh, look, is there any hope? Hey, you know what it is? I'm not sure. I saw this while watering the fields in the morning. We wanted to ask the elder sister about the situation of the furry child, but my elder sister is not particularly clear. I just found it this morning. We learned from the neighbors around us that this is the neighbor's dog in their village because it bit the child. He was beaten and abused every day, and finally he was thrown into the well because he was not satisfied. The old man said that the dog had been here for several days and the owner had not asked about it. The elder sister of Gango can't speak anymore. Look, throw a stone and see. I'm still looking at the pony. Such a cruel owner bit the child for some unknown reason. Just leave it in the abyss and wait slowly. Still moving. We have to find a way to get it up here. Yes, it's too deep. How can I download it? Don't you take the rope? It's not easy to get down with the rope. There's something tied up here. There is a staircase over here. Oh, there are stairs here. The dry well stairs that have been abandoned for many years are not sure whether they are solid. We have the rope, but there is nowhere to tie it. This staircase is over here. Yes, the stairs are here. There's something here. The stairs are here 7. But where to tie it is a problem now. Xiaoma, why don't you drive the car over here? Let's tie it to the car. Line. Xing xing. If your child makes a mistake, you can educate him by beating or scolding him. Even let it wander. We can all understand. But I can't even think of such a cruel act. But I can't even imagine such a cruel act. Go down slowly. Tube. I'll let you go slowly. It's okay, no problem. Nothing's wrong. You better be careful. Good. Almost to the end? Another point. Slow down, brother. Scared me. After coming down, I was shocked by the scene in front of me. Being thrown down from such a deep height. How desperate and painful the furry child must be. It's lucky that the furry kid didn't die after being thrown down. How can a furry child bear the fear at that moment? How can a furry child bear the momentary fear? The hair covers the body so that no obvious injuries can be seen on the furry child. It's hard to tell if there are any internal injuries after being thrown from such a high place. How could such a docile dog? Don't be afraid, kid, we'll rescue you right away. The old man said that if it wasn't for his age, he rescued the dog himself. Next, Brother Liang. Okay. You slowly put it down. All right. Well. Slow down, slow down. Stuck and change position. Change position. Slow down, I'll be here soon. The distance between the two sides is a bit too wide. Too wide. Too wide. Be careful, pony. Just move aside. Our God is so heavy. Slow down, slow down. Right, just put it here and lift it upwards. Okay? All the best. You put the rope down. Tube. Slow down when you come up. Good boy. After much trouble, Gan finally rescued the furry child. So docile. We dare not delay going to the hospital for a moment. At this moment, I just want to rescue it as soon as possible. I want to heal its injuries as soon as possible. I didn't realize my fur kid had diarrhea. The doctor said to look at the back of its buttocks. The diarrhea has lasted for a long time. Dean's son suspects that the furry child may have other infectious diseases. We tested it for infectious diseases as soon as possible. During the test, the doctor found that the child's temperature was a little abnormal. The kid still has a fever. The kid still has a slight fever. The kid still has a fever. The kid still has a fever. The kid still has a slight fever. The kid still has a fever. More than 40 degrees, right? It could be heat stroke. Heat stroke. The Great Plague has a cause. Dog has a way. Didn't come out. Come out later. Maybe it's a big acne, right? This way, there is. Wait 8 minutes. See you in 8 minutes. If there is a fever due to a large pox, it is caused by dry pox. If a dog has a fever, it is from the plague. I heard that my fur kid's canine distemper test showed 2 lines. Our hearts suddenly became tense. The doctor said the test results were insignificant. I'll give my fur kid a test in a few minutes. Facing the second test, we kept praying in our hearts. A few minutes of waiting seemed like 7 hours. The results showed that it was ruled out that the child's bloody diarrhea was caused by infectious diseases. We breathed a sigh of relief. We were relieved immediately, but the furry child doesn't eat or drink. We are also anxious. As long as there is inflammation, it may cause fever. I see blood coming out of its stomach. If it weren't for the pandemic, could it be a bowel problem? The doctor suspected that the baby's bloody diarrhea was caused by intestinal damage. It fell from a height of more than 10 meters. Internal organs may also be damaged. The body will also have external injuries, but its hair is too long. Can't check if it has any injuries. Dean's son suggested shaving the furry child's hair first. Give it a more comprehensive test. looking at the desperate and empty eyes of the furry child. We feel so sorry for such a cute and obedient furry child. Why was I tortured like this? The doctor shaved it without moving. We still can't believe how there could be such a cruel owner. As the thick hair fades away bit by bit, the wounds on our bodies slowly appeared before our eyes. How can you see these injuries if you don't shave? The back legs are everywhere. It's all over here. Let these be connected. Look, this one looks like he was beaten with a stick. There is a large area here. While we are still immersed in the bruises on our furry children, the furry child suddenly spurted blood. The furry child suddenly spurted blood. We don't have time to react. We don't have time to react. Looking at what was happening before our eyes, we were at a loss as to what to do. Because it's still bleeding. Because it's still bleeding. Hair can only be dealt with quickly and simply. Make a more complete biochemistry. There are still problems. This Gango had blood clots after the hair was cut. What is the reason? Intestinal bleeding. Intestinal bleeding. The rectum. The same side. If it is small intestinal bleeding, it will cause bleeding in the small and large intestines. The black one from Congola. It's small intestinal bleeding. Intestinal bleeding turns black when digested. The blood is from the rectum in the back. What is the reason for this? Was it due to previous internal injuries or something else? Internal injuries, heat stroke, etc. While we were talking to the doctor, San Mao's child suddenly had blood in his stool. Falling from such a height is most likely due to there's internal organ damage. This situation is relatively large. The doctor said the most important thing now is to stop the bleeding. Its mental state is also very bad now. I have a high fever and I have blood in my stool. Very dangerous, life-threatening at any time. The doctor urgently fed the child a safety pill. Give me an 4 drip to cool down and stop bleeding. Give me a cooling drip to stop bleeding. I was given an 4 drip to cool down and stop the bleeding. The biochemical test results of the fur child were normal. But there is a problem with the film. There are bladder stones. Bladder stones and then intestinal. There is flatulence and inflammation in the intestines. The shape of the liver. The spleen's morphology is not abnormal. In the current form of the film, there is no damage to the chest or abdomen caused by a fall. No pulmonary edema or rectal bleeding. There is no such situation. The shape of the liver and kidneys. There is nothing abnormal about the spleen. There is no bleeding in the abdominal cavity. The problem was a bladder stone. Then there is a lot of intestinal bloating. The normal peristalsis of the intestine must be damaged. No peritonitis now, but we cannot rule out the possibility that there will be a sequel. The problem is that if the intestine is damaged, inflammation in the abdominal cavity, adhesions may cause peritonitis. Another one. It now has jaundice. Yellow is definitely a film that can only be seen in form. But if it is damaged, after its internal organs are damaged, the liver is detoxifying normally, metabolize blood. What are these functions? If the liver is damaged, a melting of blood, its liver doesn't work, or poor working ability. It shows the symptoms of jaundice, mainly manifested by liver damage. Can surgery be performed for this intestinal bleeding? This intestinal bleeding is dry and scattered bleeding. It has so many mucous membranes. Shedding. It can't do surgery to stop the bleeding. We can only use some anti-anemia drugs to shrink the capillaries to stop the bleeding. The damaged mucosa then repairs itself. Slowly repair. This can't be operated on. The surgical situation is some acute bleeding, heavy bleeding, ruptured skin, gallbladder rupture, or some large blood vessels rupture. In this situation, we will stop the bleeding. The doctor said that my child has bladder stones. The surgery can only be performed after the child has fully recovered. The most important thing now is to stop the bleeding and repair the intestines. I brought you some blood replenishing ointment. Blood tonifying ointment. Give it a squeeze. This blood supplement. You see, it keeps looking like this. Mainly edible. If it can eat more, put more. Dean's son Gangyu said it can't eat too much. After 3 days, the furry child finally wanted to eat. We gradually breathed a sigh of relief. We gradually relaxed. We gradually breathed a sigh of relief. I need to get a few bottles today. 6 or 7 bottles. Give it some liver-protecting protein. Then protect the intestinal mucosa. This stops bleeding. Use all anti-inflammatory drugs. There are also antidiarrheal. Although the furry child has an appetite, the bleeding still does not stop. Jaundice reappeared and liver protection drugs were needed. Dean's son suggested that we use imported drugs for our furry children. Imported medicine is expensive but effective. Let's consider it. We dare not wait even a moment as long as our fur baby can get better. No matter how expensive it is, we must give our fur kids the best treatment. Fans and friends give you a name. I hope you are healthy. From now on you will be called Kang Kang. Dean's son said he didn't eat much today. President's son suggested eating some porridge. The millet porridge we cooked today. What is this for, Brother Liang? This is what President's son used to regulate the intestines. Dean's son prescribed Kang Kang some medicine to treat his intestines. 1 insurance pill a day. Come and have a drink. You have to give it some water. Come on. Open your mouth. Eat some. You have to let it eat these foods that nourish the intestines. Come over here and lie down so I can spray you with medicine. Come over. Come here. Come here. It seems that I need to rub it. Look at this bruise. It seems to have a bright brother on its legs. On the legs. This is right. This should be a long-term diarrhea. The original hair is pickled. All pickled and swollen. There are many bruises and swellings on the furry child. I don't know how much torture and beatings I suffered. What are you doing? Dean's son just said that you always bite off the needle when you get an injection. The injection is for 7, you know. It will make you feel better soon. Why are you so naughty? It's still a little scary. I'll stay with you while you get the injection, okay? Someone is accompanying it. It's good. It gets scared when no one is with it. The nose is still a little dry. Sleep peacefully. We will always be by your side. Drinking some milk powder can help dry digestion. After using the medicine, the furry child has shown obvious changes. Finally, I no longer have to lie down listlessly every day. She's becoming more and more clingy, like a spoiled child. Seeing my fur kid getting better day by day. We have so many emotions in our hearts that are difficult to express. We have so many emotions in our hearts that are difficult to express. Time passes day by day. Kang Kang, who had been hospitalized for 15 days, was finally discharged. The journey of these 15 days. The hardships and sorrows in the past finally led to a good outcome. The furry children in the courtyard are very enthusiastic in welcoming new friends. The Samoyed abandoned by its owner suffered for 15 days. Finally start a happy life.